Hi, I'm Mark Westcott, and once again I'm with Peter McKnoulty, a consultant with McKnoulty. Peter, one of the issues that I find happens a fair bit is that the more successful the business owner is, the more they're likely to suffer what we call the pompous presumption. Now, without wanting to insult anyone, the pompous presumption to me really is where successful people have a number of advisors. They're probably, the right end of town advisors. They're spending a lot of money with professional advisors each year. And maybe a little incorrectly, they kind of feel that everything's taken care of just because of the relationships they have with these people. They might be accountants or solicitors they've been to school with or university with, and they kind of figure that they've got their back covered. Oftentimes I find that they're the people who have the biggest holes in their estate, legacy and succession plans. Have you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, Mark, I think that's a serious issue, particularly for long-term professional relationships, and quite often the client-accountant relationship. It's typically one which is I'll insult all the accountants now by referring it to a bookkeeping relationship, but it's certainly a lot more than that. The point I'm trying to make is that it's something where they're handling the same stuff more or less every year, and so there's certainly review of accounts and advice on management issues, without taking it so it's working in the business rather than on the business, and so people don't take that step back sometimes and just look at a whole range of issues which are relevant from an estate planning point of view. A part of that is the presumption the clients think, oh well, I've had a number of cases where people said, oh, so your estate plan's in order? Yeah, I've got a will, which is just an absolute fallacy. The will is, as I put it, the final bit at the end of a long process, and well, not necessarily a long process, but one which requires quite a bit of detail and review. It means looking at those accounts that are prepared year in, year out, and working out where loans are as between various entities. It requires a consideration of asset protection issues. Again, those who have this issue are typically people who are in business, and so therefore there are risks of being either professional and personally liable, or a director who has liability as a director of a company. And people tend to ignore these sorts of issues when they are just going with the same group of advisors year in, year out. So it really requires, and I'm not suggesting people change advisors, but it really is changing the questions that you ask. And so every 3 or 4 years, you do need to take a step back and just have a look at what's going on from the bigger picture. Start thinking about some of the succession issues, even for clients who aren't at that stage where they're looking to retire or whatever. That's something that requires planning 10 years out, in my view, and the more planning involved, the easier and more effective and successful a succession arrangement will be. But yeah, the key is take a step back and have a look, have a helicopter look, rather than just be in the trenches with the same advisors all the time.
Look, I will just keep this going a little bit longer. There's, and I love these phrases, as you probably have worked out, but there's another phrase I use, which is the condescending counsel, and to me that I strike that occasionally when you challenge sometimes clients, accountants and solicitors' relationships, and of course those people are then very quick to defend their relationship with their client and to sort of try and push you out of the way and say, no, it's all taken care of. But the interesting thing I find, Peter, is that most of those sort of friendships that have gone back to university days, 95% of the time, they're the relationships where the solicitor has probably been asked to prepare a will, and maybe he's done a draft and he's sent it out. Not in your practice, I know, but in a lot of practices, people send out draft wills and they're never completed, and I find that's often the case where people sort of have this presumption that everything's going to be taken care of, is that it's probably been mentioned, but no one's there to doggedly follow through to make sure it's completed, and I guess that's where people like you and I bring our value to the table, is because we do follow through and we do make sure things get done.
Yeah.
So thanks for your time again today, and look forward to our chat next week.
My pleasure.
Thank you.